Cervical cancer. In this film we will be talking about cervical cancer. This is a type of cancer that grows in your cervix. You're not able to see your cervix. It's in your body at the top of your vagina. If you're aged between 25 and 64 and have a cervix, you may be invited for cervical screening. You'll receive a letter. You may need someone to help you read it. Cervical screening may also be called a smear test. Well, you'll get a letter at first saying what to wear. It says wear a skirt or dress.
Why do you think they ask you that?
I don't know. Wearing a separate top and bottom can mean you do not have to get completely undressed for your appointment. I plan ahead, so if I know I'm going, I wear a dress or skirt. When you arrive at your doctor's, you may feel overwhelmed. You can go into the information desk and ask for help. It will be a good idea to take your letter with you. What is a smear test?
Cervical screening is a really important test that we invite women to come and have done, which is to try and pick up if they might have a certain type of cancer that is on their cervix.
What is the test for?
The test is trying to find anything that looks unusual from the sample that they take. So your cervix, inside a woman, you go up the vagina and you end up at a place called the cervix, which is just at the bottom of where the womb is. And you can develop cancer in that part of the body. And so it's really important that you attend your smear test so that we can check for it early.
What happens at an appointment?
So when you come for your appointment, we'll ask you a few questions. We'll ask you things like, when was your last period? It might be things like, are you sexually active? And when the last time you had sex was, just because it can affect the test.
Sexual contact is when your genitals touch, when you have vaginal, anal or oral sex, or when you share sex toys.
We might check that you're not pregnant as well, because it's not safe to do it if you're pregnant. Things like that, so a few questions before. We'll expect you to undress so that we can examine you, so you'll need to be able to remove the trousers dress from the bottom downwards and remove your underwear. And you'll lie on a couch like that one over there. We'll shine a light and we'll use something called a speculum, which I'll open up. So each speculum is used for one person only, and then you throw it away. And it's a little plastic device like this.
I've had it done, but I've never seen it go.
Right. So what we do is, so in a woman, you've got one hole, which is the vagina. You put that in, and we can use a little bit of a gel, to make it a bit more comfortable, which is a bit sticky. And it goes in, and then what we are doing is we're looking through.
No, I know exactly what's happening when I have it done.
Yeah, exactly. So what we do is we press this, and it's like a lever, and it pushes the inside open so we can see down inside. Yeah, and that's what it's doing. It's pushing it open slightly, and we'll try and do it very gently and slowly. And it'll open it up, and then through that hole we'll be able to see your cervix. Okay? And when we look at the cervix, we're looking to see, does it look healthy? Does it look like what we expect? And then the actual part of the test is when we want to take a little sample, and what we do is we use this brush, and it's very soft. Do you want to touch it? Yeah?
It's soft.
Yeah, it's very soft, so it doesn't hurt, and it just brushes. Yeah, it feels a bit tickly when I do it to your hand. It just brushes, and we brush it. What we do is we pop this inside. You've seen your cervix. Pop it in, and then we turn it a few different directions to get a tiny little sample. And then the nurse who does it, it's usually a nurse who does it here, will open this up. I won't open this so that we can use it for somebody else. But it's got a liquid inside. We pop this inside and give it a little bit of a turn and get all the stuff off. And then that goes off to a lab. We throw all of this away. This pot goes off to the lab, and that's what gets checked.
What do my results mean?
Sometimes results can be confusing, and that's why it's really good to speak to the doctor about it. So if the result says it's normal, then that's normal, you don't need to worry. But sometimes there are results that maybe we need to get you checked again. And maybe then that's when we need to refer you on to be seen by a doctor in the hospital who will have another check and check everything's okay. That's called a colposcopy clinic, and that's where we would refer you if we thought there was anything wrong.
Can I bring someone with me to the appointment?
Most definitely. So there's a term that we use in the doctor's surgery called chaperone, and that means someone who comes with you to make you feel more comfortable. Now, a chaperone can be your carer, it can be one of your parents, it could be a friend, anyone you like really. It can even be someone from here that is in the room with you to make you feel a bit better. Sometimes we have another nurse or a receptionist here to help you feel a bit better. So yes, you can bring anyone you like, and you can say exactly where you'd like them to be as well. So if we take this room as an example, we've got chairs here and we've got the curtain here. So you can have someone who's inside the curtain so they can see what's going on, or you can have someone who's outside the curtain so they can just hear, but they're there with you and you know that they're there with you. You can have someone even up close next to you, standing beside your bed, holding your hand if you want, or they can be at a distance, sat in the chair. But definitely say if you want someone there, and we can make those arrangements for you. And just remember that, you know, a lot of people are scared about smear tests, and
Yeah.
we always are happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you're worried, let us know, and we can make sure that we can do our best to try and settle your nerves.
What can you tell us about HPV?
So the thing about cervical cancer is that what people don't realise is that more often than not it's caused by a virus. This virus is called human papillomavirus. We also call it HPV. Now, you can catch this virus in so many different ways, and it doesn't have to just be from sex. So one thing that people often believe is that if you've never had sex before, you can't get cervical cancer, but that's not necessarily true. And the same thing goes for people who are in same-sex relationships. They think if they haven't had sex between a man and a woman, they don't need to have a smear test. But actually, even if you're a woman who has sex with a woman, or someone non-binary, then you could still get HPV, and you could still get cervical cancer. So it's really important to have smear tests, even if you are in a same-sex relationship.
If you're worried about going for your smear test, speak to your GP, as you can speak to your care or your parents, or ask your parents or parents to speak to the GP before you go. There's lots they can do to make you feel comfortable. If you've never had sexual contact with anyone, you're still entitled to cervical screening. For more information on this or any of our films, visit our media hub www.suttonmencap.org.uk/media hub.